Hello friends. Today we'll be diving into the world of r/today I fucked up. Have you ever experienced a situation that you lived to regret? We'll hear stories from several individuals that did exactly that, in today's episode. Sex, mistakes, regrets and more. Join us as we venture into several such tales in this installment of r/today I fucked up. Have you had a similar experience? Let us know in the comments below. Perhaps we'll feature you in a future video. Before the show, please be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with a friend. I want to thank all of our current subscribers. You make this possible. Now, let's dive in. Today I fucked up by asking my roommate for sex randomly. This story isn't really funny or extraordinary, it's more just pathetic. I don't recommend reading it. Alright, this happened yesterday, and I've been cringing so hard thinking about it that it's tough to focus on anything else, and I just want to write it all down to get it out of my head. I'm 17 years old and built like a wet noodle, socially awkward, I suck at talking to girls, yada yada yada. My roommate is 30. But she looks 23, and I've had a crush. I don't really like that word crush, but I don't know what else to say, on her for months. I don't know her that well. So yesterday was my graduation party, and I spent all day talking to friends, getting gifts, etc. At the end of the night, we just played an awesome game of Mafia and it was late, people were leaving, when my roommate calls me over to her and starts talking to me. She's looking me in the eyes, we're really close to each other, and it feels kind of crazy. I also haven't whacked off all day, so I was feeling it extra. She was talking about life, and it felt like she was looking into my soul. Anyways, after she walks away, I'm cleaning up the party stuff around, and music is blaring through her room. I don't actually remember if curiosity got the better of me and I glanced in her window, or if I just happened to see by accident, but I saw her dancing topless. That was insane for me. I don't think I've ever even seen a girl topless before. I was already feeling a little fluttery. It's all just making my head spin. At this point, I probably should have just jerked off and let it alone. But seeing her like that, she is so hot, combined with the talk we had earlier that day, I wasn't in my right mind I guess. I wanted to be with her so bad, and I knew that even if she rejected me, at least I'd know so I wouldn't spend the rest of my life wondering whether or not she would have said yes. So after everyone was gone and some time had passed, I knocked on her door with the intent to talk to her about it. I had some excuse for bothering her. I was gonna give her some things of hers that she had left out during the party. She opens the door and I give them to her, and she thanks me. I chicken out and don't say anything else, and start to walk away, and then she calls me back. I go back, and she says something about how we don't know each other that well, but we're sharing an intimate space, and I forget what else. I tell her goodnight and walk away. But now I'm wrestling with myself. I've never even asked a girl on a proper date before, and yet I'm considering doing whatever the fuck this is. After working up the courage, I knock on her door again, this time with no excuses as to why I'm talking to her. She opens the door, and I basically tell her that I felt really intimate with her after our talks today, and she's beautiful, and if I didn't ask tonight it'd bother me for the rest of my life. And if she says no I'll leave and we never have to talk about it again, but that I want to sleep with her. She handled it really well. She told me that she's older than me and I'm still a kid and that we can't sleep together, but that she liked the way that I asked and that I'm a good person and that what I'm feeling is real. We hugged, and she invited me in to watch Stranger Things, but I said no. They never should have dragged that out past the first season, and we told each other good night. And I went to my room and was asleep before too long. I haven't seen her again since last night, and I've spent all day in disbelief at how fucking stupid I was. I 100% will never bother her about this again. I can take no for an answer just fine. I mostly wrote this for myself, so that it's written down and not just spinning around in my head. But I'm really not sure if I'm a complete freak or if I'm just a horny 17-year-old with poor decision-making skills. TLDR, I saw my hot roommate dancing topless, asked for sex even though she's 30 and I'm 17, got rejected. Edit, just to clarify, it's not just me and her in the house. I live with my mom, and we have a roommate that lives in a little mini house in the backyard. Today I fucked up by washing out a sex toy in the kitchen sink as a blind man. For full context, I am fully blind and can still do most independent activities and simple chores around the house like cleaning up after myself. I am able to post on Reddit because technology is amazing and my phone has an accessibility option called VoiceOver. This happened about 2 weeks ago and thought it was funny and cringe-worthy enough to share on the internet. I ended up giving in and buying a toy that is comparable to the shameful fleshlight, which requires cleaning after every use. After deciding to give it a go and successfully reaching the desired conclusion, it was now time to wash it out with the feeling of disgust lingering. I do not live alone, and the only other person that I live with is my mom. I made sure to do all of this while having full privacy early enough in the day while she was at work. Inside the toy, the sleeve is removable, making cleaning up a little bit easier. So I thought. I put everything back together and realized that it doesn't sound right when putting everything back together. Things seem loose and like it is knocking around, but I say whatever because I know that I am never going to use it again. Time passes and it is now later that night. We are both standing in the kitchen talking about our new puppy and everything that she got into throughout the day. At this time she is washing up some dishes and then proceeds to ask me, where is this sponge from? I have absolutely no clue what she is talking about, and then ask her if it is just a normal scrubbing sponge that ended up in the sink somehow. She tells me that it is a small circular white sponge that she has never seen before. It is now that I realize that my mom was holding a sponge that goes into the cylinder that holds the sleeve of the sex toy and creates suction, and also collects bodily fluid so that it doesn't spill out. I am so embarrassed, but she has no way of knowing what exactly it is, and I don't show embarrassment that she can read, and just end up taking it out of her hands and saying, I have no clue what this is. I proceed to rinse it off over and over again, and then slip it into my pocket to make sure that no one ever touches it again. TLDR. I washed out a sex toy in the kitchen sink but did not know that it came with a sponge which collected bodily fluid from myself earlier in the day. Mom picked it up out of the sink and asked me where it came from while I proceeded to act totally oblivious so that I could take it away and throw it away forever. Today I fucked up by consuming an energy drink. I like energy drinks and I'm no stranger to them. My caffeine addiction began in high school with Mountain Dew, the gateway drug to the caffeine world. I would have snorted it if I found that more effective, but no, it just kinda burns. I've done things I'm not proud of. I've added sugar to Jolt Cola. I've mixed instant coffee into caffeinated water. Amused, yes, but not proud. This context matters for the rest of the story. Since then, I've cut my habit to one sugar-free energy drink in the morning with an occasional soda in the evening, but my caffeine tolerance is still considerable. I may finish the second half of my energy drink after a good nap. To give you an idea, this morning started out like any other, with a new drink from some brand I never heard of and a protein cookie. Both came from a monthly subscription box I enjoy for zero sugar energy drinks. The cookie was not good, but the energy drink was tasty. Within 30-60 minutes of finishing, I felt nauseous. Maybe that cookie isn't sitting well. I wrote it off and had plain white rice with plenty of water for lunch. It got worse. I started trembling and broke out in a cold sweat. I tried to dry my hands and just kept sweating. It was disgusting. I sat at the computer for hours flapping my hands every 5 minutes like a pathetic, flightless dinosaur bird with tiny wings, trying to dry my hands off. Maybe I was getting sick? The trembling was severe and the nausea was so bad that I had nothing but water for several hours. I endured over 8 hours of queasy trembling, sweating, and flapping before a tiny thought started tickling the distant reaches of my brain. Didn't I try a new drink today? I looked at the can and googled it. Redline Cognitive Candy is stronger than the original Redline and Redline Extreme. Sure, but they all say that. It's just marketing fluff. I try different brands all the time and drink a can a day, so there's no way. Right? I kept reading. Redline energy drinks are currently the second most potent energy drinks available to consumers in the United States. I see. It's less potent by volume than 5-hour energy, but there's more of it in a can, so it ends up stronger overall. Even better, the protein cookie I had alongside it was so dry that I basically slammed the entire thing in 20 minutes. It wasn't on a completely empty stomach, but that tiny protein cookie was a white picket fence versus the Redline tsunami. But that's old news. At this point, the restraints are locked in and I'm on this ride until it ends. Class action lawsuit filed over Redline energy drink. According to the Redline energy drink lawsuit, persons who have consumed the product have reported a range of adverse side effects, including, but not limited to, chills, excessive sweating, vomiting, convulsions, chest pains and rapid heartbeat. Wait, this lawsuit is from 2012. Didn't I just read that this new one is stronger than even the extreme version? Side effects of caffeine overdose, trembling, anxiety, rapid heartbeat. Well, this is a first. The effects began to lessen very gradually. By the time I felt capable of eating, I was ravenous. It seemed only appropriate to have Taco Bell like a good little junkie. It was a bright spot in a sea of misery. Sweating, 10 hours. Nausea, 12 hours. Trembling, 16 hours. Anxiety, 30 years. That's probably unrelated. I went to bed around 3 a.m. I put my phone down at 5 a.m. I picked my phone back up at 7:30 a.m. and browsed r/energy drinks. Then saw something I wanted and ordered it on Amazon because my intelligence is questionable. I put my phone down again and lied awake past my alarm. I turned it off and just lied there. Finally, around 11:30 a.m., I entered a half-conscious trance like a Buddhist monk who's gone down a dark path in his life. I slept for maybe 3 hours and then got up and began my usual routine, with a pause for existential crisis upon opening the fridge and considering if I really wanted to do an energy drink today. If you have grasped my predilection for poor life decisions, you already know the answer to that question. In the end, it took over 24 hours to come down from this unassuming little can. I'm both terrified and impressed. I don't know how much cocaine they put in it or why it's legal. If it did this to an overweight male with a high caffeine tolerance, I can't imagine what it does to women, children, persons sensitive to caffeine, the elderly, pets, or any living creature that doesn't recklessly ingest synthetic chemicals on a regular basis. I'm guessing it would either kill you or you would be able to see time. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to order more. TLDR, new energy drink hits me harder than that time I was prescribed methylphenidate. Today I fucked up by shooing a bee away while bicycling. Second try, as I'm new to this channel and forgot to include the TL at the end. Okay, to be honest, it was not today, more 2 years back. But I just got reminded about it by another discussion and it just fits too much in here to not share the story. I travel to work mostly by bicycle and it was just another sunny day. I was cycling back home from work. My way includes passing by some fields, so a little nature is always involved. I have to mention too, that my wife's workplace is about halfway to home on my way. So I often text her when I left and she then gets ready to join me when I pass by her workplace. It was one of these days when I had texted her and less than 1 kilometer away from her workplace, I was passing one of the fields on my way. until I suddenly felt a little sting on my leg. So I look down and see a bee on my leg and the reflex hits. I wanted to shoo it away with my left hand and just happened to move in such a stupid way. My wristwatch got somehow tangled with my brakes. What follows? Yeah, I pulled my wheel in an almost 90-degree angle to the direction I was cycling in and came to a brutal stop. What I remember is me falling to my side, somehow managing to still hold on to my bike, do a 180-degree roll and literally smashing it like a hammer on the concrete of the street. After that I let go of the bicycle. First thing I did was pull that sucker of a bee of my leg. That somehow survived the whole ordeal, still being stuck to my leg. After this it was damage report. Bicycle in shatters, front wheel was more an 8 than a circle. My band of my wristwatch was broken too and fuck up my wrist in the process too. So I spent a few minutes to somehow pull on parts and try to fix what was possible to at least be able to push my bicycle to my wife's workplace. I sent her a short text along the lines of, "Had a little accident on the way. Will be there shortly." Yeah, she was not that pleased when she saw me and what my little accident did to me, but could not help but chuckle when I told her a single bee did this to me. What hurt the most besides the bruises all over my body was the loss of my wristwatch. They don't produce the wristbands for it anymore, and through that it was not possible to repair it. We talk about a watch that I won in a contest when I was 16 and the accident happened with 32. So I had her with me for half my life. Damage report: man on bicycle versus bee, 1 wristwatch, 1 bicycle wheel and lots more of different repairs on the bicycle, bruises all over the body and nothing more serious. Lucky me, 1 set of destroyed clothes, meaning shorts and shirt, 1 wife split between worrying about me and laughing hard. She still sometimes likes to remember me on the day I lost against a bee. DLDR, a bee stung me while riding a bicycle. Tried to shoo it away by instinct, caught the brakes with my wristwatch and ended up much worse compared to just being stung by a bee. Edit, typo and something that makes sense in German but not English. Today I fucked up by unknowingly calling a movie mediocre outside the writer/director's apartment window. This just happened. I was walking around the neighborhood with my friend and GF. One of the apartments we passed had a window, first floor, with a series of random movies and magazines lined up in front of the curtain. It wasn't professionally done or anything, or I didn't think anything of it. People put weird stuff behind their windows all the time. This is when the fuck up happens. Without a thought, I pointed to the one film of the lot I'd seen and say, "Mediocre movie." I don't know why I said that. We'd just been talking about our favorite films, so maybe that's why I was so offhandedly candid. Anyway, that's when I hear a voice from inside the apartment respond, "They're not that bad." My heart breaks. I know exactly what's happened. This is LA, I should have known better. These aren't just some movies, magazines some rando put in front of their window. These are his movies and magazines. He's showcasing them because he's proud of his work. I'm such an asshole. I've spent so many years being so careful in LA about ever being negative about a movie or show in public. In theaters, I always wait until the car before saying if I disliked something. In LA you just never know. Also, making stories and sharing them with the world is a super vulnerable experience and takes a lot of guts. So just because I don't like something doesn't mean they need to hear that shit. And here's the real kicker, I don't even hate the movie or anything. Hell, I even like it, I own it. The film just didn't fully land for me. Also, it's been over a decade since I saw it, so maybe I'd love it if I saw it again. Who knows? I tried to recover and take it back. I would never be so mean to anyone about their work, and like I said, it's a good movie. I was just not thinking, me. I didn't hate it. It was just, a face appears in the window adjacent to the films. It didn't work for you. It's okay. Me. No, it's not even that. I mean, I did like it. Does it help that I own the movie? Him. That helps. I'm trying to think how to be honest and say I liked it actually. That I was just being dumb. Fuck. This is my worst nightmare. And I mean, There are so many bad filmmakers out there and he is definitely not one of those. The movie was good. It just didn't land for me all the way. Fuck. Well, try this one. He points to another one lining his window. I think you'll dig it. He's being so nice. Really? Seems like a really nice dude. Me. Deal. I'll leave you a sticky note on the window with my review. Him. Do it. We part ways. I keep walking with my head hung low. My friend plus GF cannot believe that just happened. I feel so bad. As we walk away, I IMDb the movie in question and look at the photo of the director, writer. Yep, that's the guy. So anyway, lesson learned. On the bright side, what a nice guy. And also, I now have a movie to watch. TLDR. TIFU by calling a movie I saw in an apartment window mediocre. Turns out the writer, director lives there and overheard. He was super nice about it and after a nice little apologetic chat I agreed to watch another of his movies and leave a review of it on his window after. Edit, since there was some confusion on the matter, just to clarify, the director, writer makes indie movies. They're on DVD, Blu-ray, they are streaming, but not big Hollywood films. I hope you enjoyed the video. What did you think? Which story wins as the biggest mistake? Let us know in the comments below. Have you ever been in a similar situation? Which story was closest to your experience? As always, be sure to smash that like button, share the video, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a story. Until next time, stay curious friends, and thank you for tuning in.